All right, time to check in with another new recruit, a new member of the Sherwood Park Crusaders, this time out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's Brandon McCartney. Brandon, welcome to the franchise. How's it going, my friend?
It's going good.
Excellent. Happy to have you here. Great to get some insight on somebody that isn't necessarily from the surrounding area. I don't know if you've taken a peek at the roster. There's a lot of Edmonton area talent. So I want to start by having you sort of explain what your style of hockey is. You're a defenseman, obviously. So what can we expect?
Yeah, so I think I'm more of a kind of a two-way type of defenseman. So I like to take care of my own end, obviously, first and foremost. And then obviously, once we get into the offensive zone, that's where I like to really shine and do what I can do. I really have fun there. And I think you can be as creative as you want in that zone. So that's what I like to do. And I like to set people up and as well as score a couple goals myself. So
12 of them last year for you to go with 35 assists. So 47 points in 45 games from the back end. I think that the franchise is probably salivating over the idea of that kind of offensive production. Can you talk about maybe when your game sort of adapted more of an offensive trend, or how did you find playing last year and being able to rack up so many points as a defenseman?
yeah, so I think my first year midget there, when I played for the Wild for the first year, uh, I didn't have as many points. And I think it wasn't that I didn't have a lot of confidence, but I don't think enough confidence. So I would see myself making a lot more passes or not taking the chances or like giving passes or whatever in the offensive zone to just like guys more just like dumping the puck in and all that type of stuff. And then this year I kind of found myself with a lot more confidence, and it kind of just took a couple games. And then I felt that I kind of got that under my belt. And then I started to put up a couple points, and it just kind of carried away from there.
So do you think to that end that maybe things slowed down for you a little bit? The confidence came, but maybe the speed of the game, you were able to process it a little better?
Yeah, for sure. Everything, yeah, exactly like you said, everything kind of slowed down, and I was able to make plays under a little bit more pressure, and I just think I performed better when I had when I had lots more confidence, and I just think that helped my game kind of peak this year. And yeah, I thought I had a pretty good year. So
Now, sometimes guys in their midget year get to go up and have the cup of coffee with a junior A franchise. I know you're from Manitoba, so it would have been with the MJ teams there. Did you get an opportunity to sort of see what junior A is going to be like, especially in terms of that pace we were just talking about?
so not really, no, because so I was kind of in a sticky situation this year. I was back in my bantam year. I was drafted by the Nippon Natives, and kind of just things were never right between me or myself and the franchise. So I kind of didn't really get the chance to show myself at that level yet. But throughout the year, I kind of just talked to them and asked if they would do something like either trade me or drop me so I could get the chance to do that. But they never ended up doing it. So, I mean, it'll be a new thing next year, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
You are experienced in playing with Matthew Shatsky, who was a rookie with the Crusaders last year on the back end. And he's somebody that definitely would have known what it was like to be battling for playing time and trying to adapt and figure out how to effectively work in the system to get that ice time. So have you been in contact with him, and how much have you guys been sort of going back and forth about your arrival here as teammates once again?
Yeah, so I pretty much talk to him almost every day, whether it be about training or just what he's doing to stay busy or just kind of whatever. Yeah, so he's told me some things about Sherwood Park, kind of what it's like around there and how it goes. Everything is run and whatnot. And he's really been a mentor for me in deciding when to play next year, and as well for coming up for the upcoming year. Sorry, kind of just what's going to happen and what it's going to be like. So
It's got to be helpful for just the peace of mind of your family too, if you're moving a province and a half away, and to have somebody here that you're familiar with, that they're familiar with. And as you mentioned, that was probably a big part of the recruiting process in itself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Matt and his parents had nothing great to say about, or nothing but good things to say about Sherwood Park. So, yeah, I think that just made it really easy for my family and I to make a decision.
Combine that with the fact that this franchise has really been pushing for, a league championship over the last couple of years, was well on their way before everything came down with this pandemic. So, this has to be a pretty exciting opportunity for you to come and join in a suddenly established program as one of the upper echelon teams in this league.
Yeah, for sure. The success that they had this year was incredible, and I would have bet money on them going all the way to the Junior A championship or whatever, but unfortunately things happen. But no, for sure, I'm really excited for the opportunity, and I think you look at some of the guys that they've moved on in the last couple of years, and just their Adam and Kyle and everything they've done, Jeff, with all their players and move them on, and I think it's amazing to see.
No, I know Jeff Wojtke gets a ton of praise on these because I just seem to be talking to a ton of defensemen, but you're going to be working very closely with him, and rave reviews right across the board that I've heard. I imagine Shatsky was kind of giving you the same as far as what to expect out of your defensive coach.
Yeah, for sure. Shatsky has nothing but good things to say. I know that Jeff works with guys one-on-one all the time before and after practice, so I think that's really a key to moving guys on to the next level, and it's just that extra time that you get to work that really separates you from other people.
Was it sort of an added incentive being from Winnipeg and being able to, you're not moving to the small town, you're not moving to Olds, you're not moving to Brooks, you're coming to somewhere where it's a little bit, more similar to what your lifestyle had been like, because of course you're going to be, living and not just playing hockey, although sometimes I'm sure those lines get blurred. But, it just, as far as that goes, and easing the transition into this city has got to be something that, you had prioritized somewhere along the line as far as what team you were going to decide on.
Yeah. So I just wait, sorry, it kind of glitched there.
Yeah, sorry, man. So you get a chance, you're from Winnipeg, so you're not from a small market, and you're not moving to the small market, which I know can be a turnoff for some of these recruits. So did that sort of help? I know Sherwood Park's just in the outskirts of Edmonton, but you're not moving to that small town experience. Was that appealing for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, as I've heard good things about small towns, but I think just living close to kind of the big city, and as having myself been living in Winnipeg my entire life, that it won't make the transition as hard. And yeah.
If you were to look at the NHL right now and pick a player that you sort of really enjoy the style of, or maybe even model your game after, could you put your thumb on one?
I really like the play of Victor Hedman. I think he kind of plays like the same as me, or I kind of try to model my game after him. So he's kind of like the two-way guy that can take care of his own end, but he loves to contribute on the offense, and he really can move the puck well and shoot the puck well. So I think that's kind of who I like to try and model my game after.
It's big body back there as well. That physical element. You're going to be facing some pretty heavy forechecks up in this North Division. Is that something that you feel like you're well prepared for?
Yeah, for sure. I think at the beginning there will be a little bit of a jump with the speed, but I think as time goes on, I'll be able to adapt to it. And just being a big body for myself, it's nice because again, it's not really, you don't really have to be scared of the big guys coming in on you. But it'll be a little bit of a jump, but I'm ready for it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Last one, I've asked pretty well everybody this since the pandemic started, and everyone's had very unique answers. How has training been for you? We've heard everything from people like doing curls with paint cans to, you name it. So what have you been doing to make sure that you're in reasonable shape?
So I'm pretty lucky that I live right next to kind of a big park in Winnipeg. It's called Sinwin Park, but so there's lots of room over there. So I like to do some kind of plyometric sprints, all that type of stuff. I go for runs all the time in the park as well. And then at my house, I'm lucky to have kind of like my own kind of home gym. So I have a bench and a squat rack, so I'm able to do most of the stuff that I would at the gym. Except obviously there is a couple things that I don't have that I'd like to have. But I have also like a shooting tarp or whatever, so I like to use that to shoot and stick handle and keep my hands going and whatnot. So
Doing the best you can with what you've got. Brandon, it was a
Pretty
pleasure
much.
talking to you, my friend. I can't wait to meet you in person at training camp, and when things get revved up, I can't wait to see you on the ice as well. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.